Hello. Couple of things to say. First of all, I've just got in from the game, so I've not had the benefit of watching it on video, watching replays, looking at stats, and these views are sort of unbiased by online because I haven't really been online. So something to bear in mind. Two other things to say. I love the FA Cup. I want us to win it. I want us to win every game. But, I'm never one of those guys who says chuck the cups. And I can't stand Man United. That's the other thing. I grew up on the 90s. I still have as much enmity for them as I do probably Spurs. So this is not a game I took lightly. But I would say I'm not too devastated to go out. I think if you're going to go out to a big team. And go out with a decent performance. And I do think this was a decent performance. I worry that I'm going to take penalties for it. But, don't worry, but I wonder if I might. I don't think the gap between this performance and the Chelsea performance is as big as the two scorelines suggest. First things first, I think United are better than Chelsea at the moment. Unlike Chelsea, they've got a manager who is getting on with the players, who they're buying into his ideas. They're full of confidence, 7 wins on the bounce. Chelsea came to Arsenal in quite poor form, really. They are much more dangerous going forward. We've basically faced Hazard, but they had, even tonight, they had Lukaku, Sanchez, Lingard, Rashford and Martial off the bench. This is a team laced with attacking threat, and we weren't really up to it, especially once Socrates went off. Anyway, start at the beginning, the team selection. I know some people were disappointed not to see the diamond again. If you play that diamond, you've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles on his own at right back up against Shaw and Sanchez. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's probably partly why the wide players were there. That's why we had Aubameyang and Iwobi on either side of the pitch. I still thought Maitland-Niles had a difficult night. It's going to happen. He's learning the position on the job. And I do think he's a weird player who we project a lot onto because almost he doesn't show anything definitive. He plays every position. He does some things good, some things bad, and we fill in all the gaps in our minds. He's obviously got potential. Coaches wouldn't keep picking him. And this is a great opportunity for him. He's got to learn fast. That's what we learnt tonight. And he did in the course of the game. I thought he got better. And that's a positive sign. Losing Socrates is massive. And when I say, I think I'm more concerned by the injuries to Socrates and Koscielny than I am going out of the FA Cup. Because I'm not sure this squad could handle going deep into the competition when we've got the Europa League to contend with, we've got the Premier League to contend with, and they have to be our priorities because we've got to get back in this top 4. The FA Cup's given us some great days out. It's not what we need right now. When we lost Socrates, we were always going to be vulnerable defensively. We lost our organiser. And is it coincidence that Kolasinac and Maitland-Niles were out of position playing Sanchez on for the opening goal because Socrates wasn't there? Surely if he had Maitland-Niles next to him, you'd think he's more likely than Mustafi to get him up, get him in the line. Kolasinac, I like Kolasinac, but I don't necessarily think he's the long-term answer at left-back. And it seems strange because he's so effective going forward at times. But I think there's probably someone who could do that and be good defensively out there. Something for the summer. And the first goal is massive in big games. I feel like with the top 6, maybe not City and Liverpool, they're kind of out on their own. The other 4, anyone could get the result any day. I think we've seen that already this season with us and United, us and Spurs, Chelsea and Spurs, United and Spurs. The results have been swinging back and forth all over the place. And the margins are fine. And the first goal is really important. And I do say one thing I will criticise the team for is conceding the second so quickly. And we've done that a lot this season. And that's got to be ironed out. But it's a problem of concentration. And we know these defenders lack concentration. They did under Arsene Wenger. They do under Unai Emery. That concentration issue is always going to be there until we get new defenders. Maybe we will have to after the injuries tonight. We'll see. So, Socrates goes off. Then we go 2-0 down. It comes from a great run from Luke Shaw. I was screaming for someone to foul him. They couldn't. They got away. Lukaku playing off the right-hand side where he's given us problems before. Does all right, but it's 2-on-2. It's not really acceptable. The fullbacks are bombed on, but the midfield cover's just not there. And Lingard scores. Very annoying man and player, Lingard, for Arsenal. Anyway, we get one back before half-time. Iwobi's involved, I think. Does he find Kolasinac who finds Ramsey? Something like that. I mention it because I've seen Iwobi getting a bit of stick online. That's one of the few things I have seen. And I don't want to make a habit of doing this every week, but I am going to defend him. If you asked, I think every Premier League club, the fans, who their most frustrating player was, I think they'd probably all say a wide player. For Chelsea, it'll be someone like Willian, you know. Even though we have quite a good opinion from the outside, I can tell you now, they find him infuriating. They think Hudson-Odoi should be playing. For United, it would have been someone like Sanchez, probably, until recently. And I think it's because it's one of the most demanding positions on the field. The skill set required is so vast and complex, and you're operating in such confined spaces. You know, people expect you to find your man in the box, but it's not like a centre-half playing a ball into a central midfielder. There's no space. The defenders are in a deep block, almost inevitably against Arsenal, packed tight, and you're looking for a way into that box. And Iwobi, more than most players in the Premier League, finds it. I think the numbers bear that out. In terms of getting passes into the box, he is good. And he carries the ball. No one else carries the ball in this team. He made several runs from inside his own half to the edge of the penalty area. Granted, what he did when he got there wasn't the best. He didn't smash in a shot from 25 yards or manage to somehow pull out a miraculous Ozil-style pass. He didn't do that. And there is a gap in quality between him and someone like Sanchez on his day or Martial on his day. Absolutely. But of the players we haven't got anyone better for that position. I just want to make that point. We haven't got anyone better. And Mkhitaryan can't carry the ball like that. Ozil can't carry the ball like that. And no one else in this team carries the ball. And his combination play with Kolasinac, it works more often than it doesn't work. Anyway, little piece on Iwobi. Oh, I've got a long ways to go and I've been talking a long time. So, 2-0 down, we get one back from Ramsey in at half-time. Straight after half-time. Looks like it's 2-2. Brilliant save from Romero. Who knows what that would have done to the game. We lose Koscielny. Huge blow. We're now going to be without our two best centre-halves. I mean, we've still got three, if you count Monreal. We could still play Mustafi and Monreal. Mavropanos is there too. So it's not quite a crisis, but it's not ideal. And given that we need one in the summer anyway, I don't really understand why we're not trying to do it now, if we can do it. Don't know. We were always going to be vulnerable on the break. From the minute I saw the team lineup of United, I worried about Martial and Rashford coming on. And once they did, and especially once Xhaka went in at centre-half, we were going to struggle. I understand bringing Guendouzi on, because he brings a lot of energy, and I thought he was pretty good when he came on. The problem was, once we put Xhaka on, at centre-half, put him in at centre-half, I don't think Kolasinac was as willing to break forward and leave him alone. I think he sat in a bit and protected him. And that meant that Guendouzi and Mesut Ozil didn't have that man to find on the overlap. And I think that's maybe why Ozil didn't have the impact we might have hoped for. That said, we didn't get the break of the ball in the box. You know, there were a few times we got in great positions or got shots away and they were blocked or saved. The cutbacks didn't find their men. It's such fine margins. And some people say, well, we weren't good enough. That's not enough quality. Do you know what? There's a lot of luck involved with a cutback. Like, yeah, sometimes they see their man and they pick them out brilliantly. And sometimes it's a little bit of design, a little bit of accident. It's played into an area, the striker's movement is good, the defender's a little bit slow, you get the break. I mean, look at the goal that we scored. Ramsey did well, but his cutback to Lacazette sort of wasn't good enough for Lacazette to get good contact on it. It bounces off Lacazette, falls to Aubameyang, who just happens to be there. He pokes it in. great. That time it works. Other time it doesn't work. And it didn't work enough for us tonight. But I didn't think we were poor. I think we looked vulnerable defensively. Well, what's news there, guys? We have been all season long. And when you look at the Chelsea game and you look at their struggles and the fact they haven't had a striker, they've had to go out and get Gonzalo Higuain. We praised our defensive performance, and we were right to, but we were up against a very blunt attack. And we played, I'm not going to say negatively, but conservatively against a blunt attack. So it's not a huge surprise we kept a clean sheet. Anyway, there's a Premier League game on Tuesday. What is it? Someone at home. Cardiff, isn't it? Yeah, Cardiff. That, we've got to win. Because we've got City at the weekend. Maybe without Koscielny, maybe without Sokratis. I'll probably be finding something else to do for that game. Not looking forward to watching that. I'm going to go. It's one of the longest ones of these ever. Bye.